everyone, Sycra here, and welcome to another episode of Pointy Chins, where I take you through my art journey. Now, this episode is called Aquash, because I acquired a Pentel Aquash brush pen, water brush, whatever it's called. Actually, no, Flavia had it, and she wanted me to try it for a while, but I was hesitant, and when I finally did try it, I really liked it. But this image is not done with the water brush yet. It's just, regular pointy chin stuff. I like this face. I like this face. I think this face is interesting. I like this face. So this is an okay page. And here, it's just some, more stupid poses and proportions and stuff. It's kind of nice in this one. Yeah, this is a nice face, I think. But, what's this? Anyway, but then I tried I have this snake lady card that I did, and I tried to do her in a different pose, just because I wondered what it would be like, and coloring it at this point with, I think these are the Copics. I think there's a light Copic marker. It's barely visible, but, and then this was just done with colored ink in a Pentel Uniball. No, not a Pentel, sorry, a Uniball pen. And then more pages. This is kind of nice, I think. And this is somewhat interesting. I like doing these funny little sketch things on the side. Okay, and still some Copic stuff, and I guess these are Copic markers as well with the eyes. I kind of like this character. Seems nice. I guess I tried to do a side view, but it didn't quite work out. Oh, and this page has some cooler characters. This episode is gonna be me liking more of my stuff, so yeah, I apologize if you don't like the stuff, because I probably will, because I like this face. And I really, really like this. It's like, whoa, cool, and the hair, it's just, I don't know. I consider that's really nice. The body, nope. So it's not great, the body, the hand, that stuff's not great, but that face is like, whoa. I really like that. And here we go. Here's the first use of the Aquash. So there are other water brushes out there, and I haven't tried them, but I'm thinking I might, just because the Aquash was really nice when I first used it. I don't know what it is about it, but the second I touched it to the page, it felt like, oh, you're an old friend who I know well, but haven't met in a while. But I've never used it, so maybe because it's like a paintbrush, and I used to paint a lot. But yeah, it's very different than the Bristol feeling, which I felt I was fighting with. I like this guy. Seems pretty cool. There's a screaming guy here, and just some hair stuff. That's kind of nice how just one eye shows up. What else? Yeah. So it was just very easy. It's easy to make broad strokes and easy to make thin strokes. But one concern I have with it is that it's starting to clog. And, well, it's clogged a few times now. And sometimes it's the bristles, and sometimes it's a mechanism within the bristles. And you can clean that out with a syringe, or sometimes just dousing it in, or soaking it in alcohol. That sometimes works as well. But it's not a huge deal, and I'm also going to consider trying different water brushes that might clog less in different ink. Right now I'm using a red koh-i-noor brand of ink, and it's pretty nice. I really like this face as well, and this hair. It's like, oof, cool. I mean, when I see stuff like this, I kind of feel like I'm happy with my style. Like, this is where I wanted it to end up, and I'm really glad that it did end up here. And so this almost feels like Journey's End, because the episodes so far have been taking you through my journey to find this thing, but now that I have it, it's kind of like, well, I'm just going to keep doing more of the same. Of course, experimenting and trying new things, but not in an attempt to find the style. The style's already found. It's more in an attempt to just stretch and figure out what I can do now with this thing that I have. And again, I like this face. This one's okay. And this one's okay. I mean, the bodies are very stiff on this page. I guess I was thinking more about perspective here, so it tends to make things more stiff. And here's some more stuff. This person was drawn from life. Their hair isn't that crazy, but I was just trying to take things from life and make them more exaggerated. And I like these two guys. This guy and this guy. Whoa, whoa. And here's some more. Just trying to be more graphic, I suppose. I actually like this lady. It's pretty nice as well. This guy's sitting on the toilet. And then what I did is I was looking at shapes. So I was thinking a lot about just basic shapes. See here, this guy's not made up of really basic shapes. It's more just almost realistic. And then this guy, it's like, okay, how do we simplify this and turn this? It's not the same character, but just using more basic shapes. And this one too, because you can see it's just like this long, I don't know, tubular shape, I suppose, with this thing on the end. And so I created these other shapes, just the shapes first. And then I was thinking of very graphic shapes. So you can see this, like, imagine this figure inside doesn't exist and you're just looking at the outside border. This is kind of like this long S shape. And this one was some weird squiggly shape. And this is some strange, again, kind of an S shape. And then within it, I filled this, and this was all done on the tablet. I mean, the Cintiq, not the companion, the 22HD. Wacom Cintiq 22HD, sorry. And so, yeah, this was done, I think, in Photoshop. Yeah, pretty sure in Photoshop. So, it's all digital, but I tried to make it the same color as this, so I maintained the red thing. And I think this guy's okay. He kind of looks like a Protoss in StarCraft. And then these two, I'm not sure. And then here's another digital attempt. I was trying to add a bit more story, but I completely screwed up on the perspective. So there's like 5 different perspectives going on. So this lady, her perspective is going like what do you call them? The lines that go towards a vanishing point are going down here, as if the horizon is like tilted this way, whereas the horizon here is tilted this way. So it doesn't make any sense. But I don't hate some of the execution. Like, it's like, oh, that's kind of nice, the expression, and there's some appeal in this. And then so what she's doing is she's like, these guys, I guess, were gonna attack her, and then she grabbed this guy and she's ripping him up, and then this guy was gonna like roar and attack, and then he's like looking like, oh, maybe not, maybe this lady's not to be messed with. And this guy's like, oh, dude, I'd love to help you. And this guy's like, yeah, help me. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't know. And this guy's just pretending like, I'm just gonna sneak away right now. And yes, I wasn't here, I saw nothing. And yeah, anyway, that's because what I was trying to do is do more digital work. Like, yes, start with, of course, the pens and the traditional, because I'm not going to lose that, and I don't want to, and I really don't like this girl or her pose. And I hate this guy. Hate. This is just very ugly shapes, very unappealing design to me. This guy's much better, though. He's got 2 sets of eyes. And I like this thing, too. It reminds me of, there is a show called Beasties, and I guess in America it was called Beast Wars. But the original name is Beasties. and there's a guy called Waspinator, and it reminds me of him. And yeah, and then this was just a life drawing thing, but this girl just using colors on shapes. So I mean, the drawing itself is not as pushed as some of these, but it's not far from it. But then the painting, the coloring, the skin tones are very much more realistic, so you get all these like subtle value transitions and colors and stuff. But I don't think it worked at all. And then yeah, just some more characters. Wanted to do someone different, and I don't know, circles. Oh, this is kind of nice. And this very graphic. It's almost like two triangles. And then these two characters in completely different perspectives and planes and stuff, but it almost looks like they're fighting each other because of their placement, like and yeah, some more. This girl's kind of nice. The proportions are getting a bit more I don't know, rounded and squished and cute, I suppose. More blocky in a way. And here's some caricatured guy that I like. And yeah. Yep. Okay. So, more stuff. More Aquash. This is cool, in my opinion. And sometimes people ask me, like, how do you create different characters? And this is, or they'll tell me, like, I can only draw one face. How do you get beyond just drawing one face? And this is really a good way. So for this character, okay, she's a girl, and look at her forehead, like really far inwards, and then her mouth protrudes outwards, and then, okay, so then this guy, he's a guy, and his forehead juts outward, and his mouth goes inward. So really, it's a lot of, you do your drawing of, let's say you only draw one face, or you can only draw one face, fine. Do your one face, and then do everything in the opposite direction, and you'll get, like, if they have big lips, give them small lips. If they have a small nose, give them a big nose, stuff like that. And then you'll have the opposite extreme. And I'm not saying this is directly the opposite of this character, but it's a way of, you know, if you feel like you're stuck drawing the same things over and over again, trying this might help, where you just do the opposite characteristic, and you will get a different character. And then once you've done these two, it tends to open you up to everything in between, and just different varieties, different options. Like this guy. And this character is funny. I like the hair and his mouth area. These are pretty cool. Yeah, I really like this guy too. Man, it's a pretty good page. I like how it's very graphic. You've got this wide shape, and everything's very wide and pushed. And then on this page, I had a card that I did. And I was thinking about the shapes. Like, could I make them more... Like, could I redo the pose with shapes that are better? Or not shapes, but maybe more correct, or just different. And I did this one... I think I did this one first. But it's using... Like, this is what I started with. And then I did this one. And it started to feel like... This is better because it makes less sense, but not just because of that. It's not just, oh, it's better because it doesn't make sense. It's like, no, it's better to me because you've got these shapes. You've got like a bigger shape, and then it gets narrow at the neck, and then it gets bigger here, and then very narrow, and then much bigger. So you've got like medium, small, large in terms of the shapes. Whereas this, it's more medium, 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 right? You've got less variation. Yes, it gets a bit smaller. Yes, it gets a bit smaller, but not as much as this. This is much more clear. And so I think as far as anatomy is concerned, this is more wrong. You know, this is more screwed up. But it actually works better to me. This is more appealing. And these were all done digitally. So here we have another page that I like and the characters in. I think this is pretty okay. Very scribbly, very messy. I had to use the black to sort of define the character. And I really like this character. I like the way this is pushed and this pose and the crazy hair and this little creature, I guess. And this guy's cool. And this girl is cool. And this girl is pretty cool. And this thing is nice. And this thing is nice. I don't know. I feel like I should be saying more in terms of describing why, but a lot of times it's just a feeling. So I guess this page I didn't use the Aquash on. But still, you know, characters here, shapes. Let's see. I like this guy's proportions. I think those are working pretty well. Just a bored guy. I guess I was trying different poses for this page. And this one, I did a speed sketch video, and this was the first one I did, the first recording, but I didn't use that one. And instead, this was another quick sketch thing. And instead I used this page with this guy, who I like. I like this guy. And then more stuff. This is from life. This guy, he's about to get hit by this meteor or whatever. And this is kind of nice. You'll see, like, I'll put like a leg here because I'm not sure. Should I put it here? Should I put it here? What if it's here? What if it's here? So I'll sometimes have characters with a bunch of legs or a bunch of arm positions, and that's just because it's pen and you can erase pen. So when I change my mind, it's more like, you know, like, oh, maybe like this, no, maybe more like this. And then I just use the Aquash, so you'll focus on this one by coloring it here. You'll focus on this and not this. And this guy's nice. And some more stuff. Nothing really interesting, I think. Rah, screaming. And here I had seen this, like, I forget who the artist is, but he had done a butt, and it was shiny, and it had some shiny stuff, and I was trying to do a version of that, something inspired by that, and then this was definitely my own thing, but with the same idea. These shiny things, because I realized, like, I like shiny stuff. I like people who have nice forms, and those forms are shiny, and this guy's okay. And this character. Yep. And then just more stuff. I'm hoping you can see that the style is more consistent. I'm hoping it is anyway. And so I was really intimidated by frills, especially when they were layered like this. And Fabio was telling me, like, oh, you should just learn it, just figure it out, because I kept admiring people who did frills, and I was like, I'm not good at this, I can't do this. But then I guess I hadn't really tried to do it. So then this was my first attempts at frilly stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's not that good, because it's just like it's on a cylinder. There's not much movement. And yeah, some more attempt here at something like that. This guy's funny. And this girl's okay. I like the hair. And then here was my second attempt. So I was thinking, yeah, that was too uniform what I did the first time. Let me try adding a lot more variation. And so it's like, yeah, more frilly stuff. And here it's another attempt. Like, okay, let's do more frilly stuff. And here it's like, oh, okay, I kind of can do this. You know, it's not the best. I'm sure there are people who, well, I know there are people who are much much better than me at this, but it's like, okay, I'm not as intimidated by it anymore, because the thing I thought that was so scary, it's not that hard. You just have to, if you understand form and you understand, okay, things need to go into, like, these are all following a point. You look at these lines, like you have this external shape, and then you have all these internal lines going towards a common point. And it's not that crazy difficult. And then I did some like marks with the water brush, and then I just wanted to make stuff out of it. So I started by just putting a mark here, 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 and then I detailed them with the pen and turned them into things. So this guy became that, this became that, and like this guy, and then this guy looks very, very interesting. I like his shapes with this big heavy head and big nose. This one's okay, not quite my favorite. And this one's, again, it's a bit of a pushed shape. And I like this guy. It's like a guy, he's wearing a hat. Here's his eye. Here's his nose. And here's his eyebrow. Here's his mouth. I don't know if that's clear, and that's his ear. But it's like this guy with big cheeks. Yeah. So here are some poses. I was thinking of a character flying and like, and like flying towards us, and then I don't know, just figuring out poses, trying to come up with dynamic stuff, interesting stuff. Like this, I was thinking of this a confident pose, and I kind of had, because sometimes what's good is you hold the pose yourself, like physically get up and do the pose to see what's cool. And I kept doing this thing where I had my hands down and fists like this, and it's supposed to be like this floating pose. You're confident, you're floating, but you're ready for action. And I don't know if you've seen Kill la Kill, but it's an anime, and a lot of the poses have this quality that I like, which is like kind of like a static pose, yet it looks like the person's just about to spring into action. It's very, very cool, a good tension. And Frank Frazetta, he does stuff as well with his poses that have this feeling of like the person's about to move or they're in an action. And there's a lot of tension. Even if a character's standing still, there's a great deal of tension in their muscles, as if something's about to happen or they are ready to move, they're ready to act. So it was a lot of just experimenting. I don't think I solved it. This is completely broken. But it was, again, it's just, well, what if I do this? And what if I really go crazy and give these humongous thighs? Just why not? Just try it. Because it's just a drawing on a page, It's not like you're a plastic surgeon and you're curious, like, I wonder what would happen if I tried this or tried that. It's like, no, because that's a real patient. But in a drawing, it doesn't matter. You can do anything. And here's some more shiny stuff. I had seen some work by Masamune Shiro, and he was doing these girls that were very oily. They just looked like they were covered in oil. And very shiny again. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. So then just doing some of that, some of the anatomy is completely broken, like on this character. Like, that's not right. That's not how the leg goes. That's not how the butt attaches much. This is kind of broken, but again, it's because I'm using a pen, and I don't mean to just sound like I'm making excuses, but this is not something I would show someone, for instance. I'm only showing you because this is a whole behind the scenes how stuff is really done thing. But yeah, it's more just practicing. Stupid poses. And this character, I actually really like the colors in it, and this feels like like a tidal wave. I get that type of feeling from the colors, but it's very broken. The second I showed Bob Meatbag and Flavia this, they noticed all the issues, which I don't know why, but I did this digitally, and I really wasn't thinking. I was doing this kind of approach where you start here, and then you go here, and you go here. Just go down. I do like these eyes a lot, and this mouth. It's really, really pretty, and keeping the shininess on it, but you can see the neck is completely broken. A lot of this stuff is just out of perspective or very broken. Like, where does that attach, and how does this work? It's not quite well thought out, but as far as the colors go, I kind of like it, and the face I kind of like, and the hair. It's like, it's pretty okay. More posing stuff. Not really a good page, I would say. But I guess it's becoming more consistent to the point that even my bad pages, they're like, it's okay. It's not good, but it's okay. More issues like this. This head is totally broken. On this neck, it's too long and it's not attaching right. But that's kind of nice. That's pretty cool. That's a decent proportion. What else do we have here? I guess that's it. I like this character. That's nice. With this strange head scoop thing. I have no idea. But, yeah, it's that. And then I did another one of those. You make the blobs with your brush pen. You're really not trying to make anything definite. It's just a blob. And then you turn the blob into something. So here, I guess I made this fishy guy, but I didn't even use this part of the blob because I couldn't resolve it. And then running, and this character is really cool actually. I mean the body is maybe not the best, but I really like the face. I like the expression, and I like how her hair is actually this rock type thing, and it's floating, or crystal maybe if I painted it. I think that's a neat idea. And then here, just, warm-ups again, first page. And here's this guy. I think he's really cool. Because again, I'm trying to bring back caricature. I mentioned it before, that I was bringing my caricature back into it, but I tend to forget it sometimes. And then this was for just studies from imagination, really. Trying to figure out how to draw feet, because I had to do I did a how to draw feet tutorial already. And this, I guess, is my preliminary stuff. And then this character, again, digital. This character is much less broken than the last one. And I think, again, it's pretty cool. I mean, I kind of like it. And I especially like, again, the lips and the eyes. I think I'm having some success with those. So that's nice. And here, some more stuff, more poses. This hair is pretty amazing. I think that's quite cool. And this character as well. I like that. I like these shapes. They're very appealing to me. And some more blob things turned into characters. This guy's great. And I really like these two. This one seems nice, and the hand's messed up. Some parts are screwed up, and then this one, they seem like they would be good friends. These two characters. This one just seems dumb. Just, I don't know, standing on a street corner. And then this is cool. And this one, again, another experiment, I suppose. Just playing around with lighting and skin tones, and these were done pretty quickly. Because I'm just figuring that, okay, instead of making super finished pieces, it's probably good that I just treat my digital work the way I treat these. And with these, the sketches, it's more just like, just try it. Just experiment. Don't hold yourself to creating something. That's why I'm not posting this stuff on DeviantArt, because it's like, I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't want to turn it into, I am doing this for other people. I am doing this because I'm doing this with the knowledge that I'm going to show people. Because when I do that, I tend to, I paint differently, I think differently, I draw differently. I'm much more censored, I suppose, and reserved and nervous. And it's something I've been noticing is happening even with my drawings in the sketchbook here, that I have some, like, I've been really trying my best to avoid this, but I have some awareness that these drawings will be seen by people, and I don't think that's a good way to actually have a sketchbook. I think the best way to have a sketchbook is to have it for yourself. This is just you playing, you exploring, you learning, and not you doing something that other people will see, that other people might judge, that other people, maybe they'll like it, maybe they'll dislike it, but it's not a good motive to create something, and I don't like having the pressure on. So, yeah, this pose I really hate, but this one's okay. This one's okay. This cat is tearing up a box. Here's another case of that double leg thing where this, I guess this back leg could be doing this, or it could be doing this, or I mean this front leg's doing this. Anyway, just multiple leg positions for the same pose. I don't know. This is pretty nice, actually. I like that. I like the shapes. I like how simplified it is. It's very somewhat elegant, I would say. And yeah, this person's bent over. And here I was doing, I guess I had figured that I hadn't done environments, and so it's like, okay, let's just use the brush pen. And I don't know if this makes any sense, but it's these two figures, and they've got these long, tall hats, and they're just walking down this area, and I guess this is some kind of shrine or temple or something, and just these big trees with very big, I don't know what you call it, the underside. It's very flat, and some rocks and fence and nonsense. So here's another page. This girl has crazy pointy boobs. But this is kind of what I was talking about with just exploring and feeling free to just do stuff that's just random and crazy just to see what it's like and to see if you like it or not. Because I kind of do. It's like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. This isn't anatomically correct. But is this guy anatomically correct? Like, would you look at him? And I like him too. It's like, does this make any sense? No, it can't exist. But it's not about making sense. It's about, I think art is about expression and about honesty. So honest expression, I suppose, is because what art literally means is just skill. So there's fine arts, fine skills, culinary arts, cooking skills, martial arts, fighting skills, black arts, arcane arts. But in terms of what I think an artist is someone who honestly or genuinely expresses something, and it's a means of communication or a means of understanding something. And the genuine part is because I feel like there's, I don't think it's art necessarily if you've seen something that someone else did and you're just copying it. I think that's craftsmanship. I think that's where you get into more artisanal things, but I don't know if that's art. And here's this thing, this I did for White Manga. We did a stream a while back, and this was his character, and this was the initial sketch I did for it. More characters, crazy hair, which I like. And I like this character. I actually like both of these in terms of interactions. It's almost like they're both viewing the same thing, and his reaction is to get kind of intense and angry about it, and this person's reaction is to be kind of like, whoa, whoa, whatever that means. And then here's another page. Some things I like, some things I don't. Again, it's probably boring now, I would imagine, because the faces are all looking the same, but that's not necessarily, like, that's not a bad thing. I remember when I was younger, I would look at certain artists, and all the artists I really liked, they seem to just do the same things over and over again. And I was like, don't you get bored? Because I was very scattered in my interests. I liked certain things, and I thought, like, it's really cool what you do, but it's the same thing. But then I started to realize it's because it's the same thing that they're so good at it, because they have defined parameters, a defined style. Everyone knows what to expect when you go to this artist, and they do improve, they do explore, but in different ways. They do it within their style, as opposed to trying different styles and different approaches all the time. Even guys who do concept art, like Feng Zhu, he's not trying different approaches. He's doing the same approach over and over and over again. The same one he learned from Art Center. It's just what he chooses to do in that approach is different, but the approach itself is the same. So I don't think it's necessarily bad anymore. When I would see artists I really liked, I realized, like, that's probably why I'm not good. It's because I'm jumping around, doing many different things. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you necessarily should. And I'm much happier now exploring this world with this language, which I understand. I like this face a lot. This pose is completely broken, completely nonsense. And so I figured, okay, let's try and tackle this again. So if I was to redo it, how would I do it differently? Do I understand what I'm doing or not? Just, again, trying, experimenting, finding out that you have a problem, and then dealing with your problem. I think it's a good thing to do. And I like this guy. Okay, so I had this idea of this thing. So it's this little crystal thing, and it's like an energy something or other, but it's really small and it's really pretty. Like this doesn't look right. Like, forget the drawings, because the drawings aren't good. But okay, so it's this little floating, sparkly, crystally thing, and it's made out of energy, and it just floats, and it's got this very pleasant sound to it, almost like, you know how wind chimes have a certain ringing sound to them, this shimmery sound, and it has that, and it just floats, and it goes to like a village, and then everyone's like, whoa, cool, that's really pretty and nice, and then it starts sucking in energy, like, and sucking in all this energy from the surroundings, and kind of like Goku with his spirit bomb, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan. And then it sucks it all up, and then it just gets to be one point, like it's this tiny dot, like, and then it's just a super dense tiny dot of light, just, and then all the energy like goes, and then, and this shock wave. But I really screwed up with this. It didn't come out at all like in my head. And then the shock wave is super thin, like a very thin disc, and super sharp. All these edges are like the width of a razor, and it's just this energy that blasts out like, but it's really strong at its source, and then as it fades out, like it just sort of fades off, and then dissipates and becomes like nothing happened. But everything nearby is just completely destroyed, and it's all sliced. And then all that's remaining is just that same little sparkly little crystal, and then that crystal can float around and go to the next village, and then everyone would be like, cool, wow, what's this? And like, anyway. So yeah, some more designs. Weird clothing designs. Here, weird hair designs, but that's what I do now. Just do the crazy things. All he's doing is crazy things. Look at this lady. What's with her hair? She puts gel in it or what? And these things, like, come on, you can do something pretty instead. Maybe a flower, a nice flower or sunset. Why don't you paint something like that? Why are you doing these girls all the time with the showing the parts, and that's not nice. You shouldn't do that. You can paint other things. So, yeah, like this guy too. I don't understand what this is. Some kind of strange thing. I like this character a lot. That's really interesting. And this character in the face, although this lady looks very constipated and her pose is retarded. But there you go. And then this is pretty nice, and this one. And this is really cool. I guess this is very inspired by my buddy Bob Meatbag and his screaming faces. I thought, now I'm going to do a screaming face too, and it's going to have 3 eyes, and it's whatever. And in this, I was just doing, I don't know, I felt like, oh, I need to practice foreshortening, so I had this person and putting their hand forward and, you know, trying to get it looking like it's coming forward. Super extreme foreshortening, and yeah, just different characters. I turned them all into slightly different characters, but really the focus was the hand thing. I don't think they're all that great, but and this one's like pointing like, you don't make me come there. And anyway, this is there's a guy, Kill Art Dev, and I really liked how he did some of his forms. So this is digital, and I wanted to try and do a study and just figure out, because he does these nice shiny forms as well, and very curvy, which I like. And then I thought, well, why not just go to life? And I found some girls who were shiny. I guess they were covered in oil, and just did studies of that, but in my style. See, that's the thing. It always has to be in your style, or else you're going to lose it. So crazy hair is all, you know, her hair didn't actually look like this, like nothing like that, but, you know, it's not going to be exact. And then I like this shine. Thought that's really nice pose, and I like how, of course it's from life, so it's not that impressive in terms of like, oh, you didn't create this from your imagination, but I guess there's still some degree of satisfaction in getting things like, you know, this lady as well, and very shiny, and you get the highlights in the right place because you're using reference, so it's nice, I suppose. And then this is another page, and this character is cool, and yeah, it's okay. And there's some more of that hair that's crazy in this guy. Whoa. And not sure. And then these are just another life thing. So this one, I feel it was completely broken. Like, this body doesn't work, but that's kind of what the body was doing more so. So then when I pushed it, it's like, oh man, this is not really happy with it. I don't hate some parts of it. I don't hate like the hair. It's like, okay, the idea is okay. The result is not nice, but whatever. And this page. So here's a classroom thing, and I don't know. I just wanted to try a different, try a composition for a change in an environment. Some obviously perspective mistakes and stuff. Some of this doesn't exactly work, but I kind of like how, it's a square composition, but it's not that boring because of the position of the characters. And this teacher is way up on the top corner, and it's like, if you actually look at it as just a basic shape, just think of this as a square, and then this as another rectangle, a small rectangle, and then look at from the outside in. It's not that uninteresting. It's kind of interesting, I think. So, okay, fine, whatever. And then just some more stuff, more faces. This person's like a Catwoman type person, and yeah. So, just an arm study. I don't really like it, but whatever. Yeah, so this is pretty much where I'm gonna have to end it for a while. I think I'm gonna take a break from doing these Pointy Chins where I actually walk you through it. And two main reasons. One is that the style is pretty solid right now, so it's not like I'm teaching that much new. What am I going to say? Just each time, like, oh, I like this is cool, this is nice. And And the other thing, the far more important thing, is I need to have a break to have some distance between what I am doing and what ends up getting shown. Because if it's too close, for instance, between an episode of Pointy Chins and then when I actually, or when I draw something and then when it's going to be on Pointy Chins, then I'm starting to think, like, even in the back of my mind, even if it's small, even it's a subconscious thing where you get to think, like, someone's going to see this, and just knowing someone's going to see this. Like, imagine if you had a sketchbook and every time you want to draw in it, you're thinking someone's going to see this. It's probably going to restrict you. And I feel like that's what's happening to me. I feel like I'm starting to become limited. There are some things I might draw that I start to feel like, well, is this going to offend somebody? Is this going to create an issue? And so, yeah, I'm going to take a break from the Pointy Chin series for a while. But I do hope this was interesting to people. And this whole thing has been trying to prove a theory, because, like, even recently I watched a video by Bobby Chu, and I guess I shouldn't call him out on it, but I really respect him as an artist and what he's done, and I'm taking a bunch of his not his in particular, but Schoolism was founded by him, taking his courses, so I respect the guy. But he had said something about style is something you don't find, and people who try to make a style, he's never met anyone who's tried to create a style and has created a good one. It's that the people who try never really make a style that's very good. And I wanted to prove that, like, it wasn't that was my goal to prove it wrong, but I was coming from a point where I thought, this could be done. You could go from nothing and then have a cool style if you go through certain steps. And so it was a struggle, but it's all documented. Like, it's not going to be one of those things where someone would wonder, how did you get to this point? Well, just look at the Pointy Chins. You can start from episode 1 to this episode and see clearly the progression. What were the stumbling blocks? What were the hurdles? And I hope it inspires people to not necessarily follow what I'm doing, because I think most people should just naturally find their style. But if you are in a situation where maybe you're like me and you don't have a visual memory and you can't remember what things should look like, then maybe it gives you some hope that just because you have this problem, it doesn't mean you can't be successful. It doesn't mean you can't create something really cool that you can be proud of. And rather than follow what I'm doing in my style, like, creating Pointy Chins or whatever, it's like, no, it's not about that. It's finding out who you are, finding out what you like, and then pursuing that. So overall, I hope this helped, and thanks for watching.